Welcome back, guys, to the channel. On today's channel, I'm going to be showing you how I made this beautiful trendy shirt dress. Okay, if this is what you're interested in, I would like to see stay glued to this video and watch to the end. To my return subscribers, I love you all. If you're just seeing me for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you can be notified whenever I post beautiful tutorials like the one you see on the thumbnail. We have the short sleeve, we have the long sleeve, and I decided to make the long sleeve. And if you want your pleats tiny, depends on you. As for me, I don't want a tiny pleat, so as you can see, my pleats are bold. All right, guys, let's get right into the video. So guys, first off, we're going to be drafting on our pattern paper. Like I said, the one on the thumbnail, this is going to be a very simple tutorial, like a very easy tutorial. This is a shirt we are making, just that it's kind of stylish, the pleated effects on it. All right, so I'll first of all start by drafting on my pattern paper, taking my vertical point, which is my bust point, under bust, waistline, my waistline, my hip line, and the full length. I don't want this dress to be too short, so I'm going to make the length 39. Okay, sorry you're not seeing the full length, but just mark your preferred length. That's just it. Okay, whatever length you want your dress to be is totally fine. All right, so I'm going to mark the horizontal lines. After marking them, I'm going to label the line. So I'm going to label the line, the bust point, the under bust, waistline, hip line, and the full length. Okay, so after that, I'm going to be dividing my shoulder by 2. I'll divide my shoulder by 2, and my shoulder divided by 2 is 9. I'm going to mark it down. After that, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. From the 1 inch, I'm going to come down by my armhole, which is 9, and I will mark this pattern paper. I'll be using this particular pattern paper for both the front and the back. So my neck width is 3, my neck depth for the back is 1.5, my neck depth for the front is 3. All right, so I'm going to be using one pattern paper to cut for both the back and the front because it's basically the same thing. So I'm going to extend the shoulder slope into the neckline area and mark my vertical line and my horizontal line just this way. So like I said, I'm going to mark the neckline for the back and the neckline for the front as well. This dress is, the front and the back is the same. The difference between the front and the back is just the button in front. Okay guys, hope I'm not too fast. So after that, I just wanted to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm doing. After that, I'm going to take my dart intake, my nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is 5. My nipple to nipple is 10, divided by 2 is 5, and I'm going to mark it from the bust point all the way to the full length. And after that, I'm going to connect the point in a straight line, in a straight form, just the way you see me doing. Then after that, on the waistline, I'm going to come out by 0.75 inch on both sides. If you're on a smaller side, come out by 0.5 inch, but I'll be coming out by 0.75. Then on the bust point, I'll come down by 1 inch and mark my dart leg, also extend it to the hip line as well. All right, so this is a very simple tutorial. So the next thing I'm going to do is to divide what I have on my armhole by 2. I have 9 divided by 2 is 4.5, and I'm going to come up by 1/4 inch, then mark the armhole curve just the way you see me doing. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is to insert my body measurement. So my bust divided by 4, and I'll add 1.5 inch for seam allowance. My waist divided by 4, I will replace the dart intake and add 1.5 inch for seam allowance. My hip divided by 4, and I will add 1.5 inches for seam allowance. So whatever is your measurement, you add your seam allowance to it. Okay, so I'm going to connect the lines and mark it straight to the full length. Guys, hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. If you don't, rewind the video or drop your question down the comment section. So the next thing I'm going to do now that's design in front of the one on the thumbnail. If you watch properly, the one on the thumbnail, you're going to see that it has a pleated effect. So now that pleated effect is going to start from the hip line and is in box shape. So if you want yours curved, just make it curved. Whatever shape you want to give yours is totally fine. All right, so before cutting that design out, I'm going to just cut out my body block. Just cut it out so that you guys don't get confused before I go on. So guys, after I was done cutting the excess out, I'm going to cut out the design now. So you see where you see where I started cutting out from the full length to I stopped at the hip line and extended it outside. Can you see? So we're going to be doing slash and spread on this piece now that I cut out. All right, so indicate the part going down. That is what I just did. So I will mark 1 to 4. All right, so that is just it. You can mark 1 to 5 depending on how you want your pleat. Like if you want those tiny pleats, it depends on you, but I don't want my pleat to be tiny. I want it to be bold and I don't want it much. All right, so I'll cut on my fabric first for the back before I continue. So this is it. I'm going to pin this down now and cut for the back. Remember I said I'm going to use this particular pattern paper to cut for both the front and both the back. And I've got ahead to cut my back neckline remaining. If you watch closely, you're going to see that the front, I haven't cut the front neckline on the pattern, so I want to cut out my back piece first. And as you can see, as I'm going, I gave it 1/4 of an inch for joining allowance all around. So I'll just cut this excess fabric out. And for the fabric, I used 4 yards for this because mine is long sleeve. So if you're making use of, you're on the smaller part, 3 yards will be enough, or 2.5 depending if you want your long sleeve or short, whatever. But I used 4 yards for mine. So on the side, I gave it 1 inch allowance on the side seam, right, and the rest I gave it 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to unpin this now and we'll work on the front pattern. But before working on the front pattern, I forgot to open the dart leg, so I'm going to fold this back and I'll open the dart leg. I forgot to open the dart leg, so I'll fold this back, get my pattern paper, and I will open that leg. You know that we added to it, so I'm going to open it up first on the pattern paper. After opening it up, I'm going to still open it on fabric, okay? And the back, your back should be on fold. Your back should be on fold, because if you watch the back of mine now is on fold, the front is going to be open because of the button. So make sure your back is on fold, like the center front is on fold, okay? So after opening the dart leg, I'm going to open up the fabric and show you guys how it is. And before cutting on my front, I'm going to do the slash and spread on my fabric first. All right, so I'm going to remove the pattern now. As you can see, my center back is on fold, right, because there will be no zipper on this dress. It's just the front that will have button. All right, so my center back is on fold. So this is it. I'll close up the dart leg, so I'll just drop it aside and make my slash and spread. So for the slash and spread, I have 4. I'm going to open it up, right, like this, the way you see me doing, and I'm going to place them. So now your slash and spread, when cutting, the piece is going to be 4. That's 2 for the front, 2 for the back. Hope you guys understand. So I'll start placing them just this way. And like I said before, I don't want my pleat to be tiny and I don't want it to be much. That is why my slash and spread, the pattern paper is in 4 pieces, and I won't be spacing it that much. I think I used 4.5 inches when I was spacing it, just the way you see me doing. But if you want your pleat tiny, you can space it more. That's if you want your pleat that much, you can space it more, but I don't want my pleat much. So this is it. After pinning it, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So the fabric, that's the after cutting, I just want to make sure the spacing is okay, and it was okay for me. And I'm going to cut this out. The up, I'll cut it open. The down, I'll cut it open. Then the up, I'll give it about 1/2 inch allowance for joining. Okay, 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch for joining. Right, so this is it. And I have 2 here. I'll still go ahead and cut 2 for the front. Right, so make sure your piece is 4 pieces. That's 2 for the front, 2 for the back. So I'm going to unpin this and we'll start. I'll notch the up, the place going up. I'll notch it so I will know the one that is up and the one that is down. So we're going to be working on the front now. So this, I'm going to go ahead. While working on the front, you're going to leave 3 inches or 2.5 inches for the button. That's for the center front. You know this dress is going to have button, So leave 2 inches, 2.5 or 3 inches. As for me, I left 2.5 inches, so I will cut it. I'm going to cut the neckline alongside with the pattern paper, then cut the remaining piece, right, the way you see me doing. Hope you guys understand what I'm doing. And I gave it 1/4 of an inch, the way I did for the back, for the joining allowance. And I'm going to open up the darts on my fabric just the way you see me doing, right? Then on the side, I'm going to give the side about 1 inch seam allowance, though I've given my allowance on my pattern paper, but just to be on the safer side, I gave it 1 inch side seam. Okay, then I'll open the button area. So as you can see, the front is open, the center front is open, while for the back, the center back is closed. So I'll unpin this and I'll open this up, and we'll start stitching our piece, that's our fabric. So this is it. I'll fold in the button allowance. Okay, I'll fold in the button allowance for the front. Then I'm going to start joining. Now I'm going to open it up now and start closing the dart leg. Hope you guys understand. So this is it. So I'll use my pin now to close this. Can you see? Don't worry, I'll show you how the pleat is going to look like. That's the slash and spread I did. I'm going to show you how it's going to look like on this fabric. Okay, so that is it. I'll pin it down this way, and I'm going to also pin the other side this way. All right, when I'm done pinning, I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'll stitch the dart leg. And remember to fold your button allowance. Okay, I'm going to leave a link. I have a shirt tutorial on my channel. I'm going to leave the link down the description box so you watch, in case you're confused with what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm going to bring that piece I made for I cut out for my slash and spread, and I'll show you how it's going to look like. Okay, so first of all, this is the upper side, the place I notched, the place going up. So I'm going to pin this down first, like so. You guys will see how it's going to look like after I'm done stitching it. So I'll use my pin to pin it down, then open it up this way, and I'll pleat. So this is how the pleat is going to look like. Like I said, my pleating is not going to be tiny, it's going to be bold. So this is how it's going to look when I am done pleating. So I'll go pleat, do the same thing for the other side and for the back as well. When I'm done, I'm going to show you what next to do and how it looks. All right guys, I am done pleating for both the front and the back, and this is how it looks. Can you see? And I folded my button allowance as well. This is how it's looking. It's looking very fine. And I've done for the back. This is the front, guys. This is the 2-piece for the front, and this is the back I have. Now I'm going to be joining shoulder to shoulder and side to side. I've gone ahead to cut out my sleeve off camera. I'm going to, if you don't know how to go about your basic sleeve, I'm going to leave the link down in the description box. And the collar, I'm not going to be filming the process of adding the collar because I have a video on a shirt collar video on my channel. I'm also going to leave the link. I will also leave the link down the description box. All right, so guys, this is it. I'm done joining it shoulder to shoulder and side to side. The next thing I'm going to do now is to join my sleeves to it and the collar. Like I said, my sleeve, I did that off camera. I'm going to leave a link on how to go about your basic sleeve down the description box, because I don't want this video to be too long, because I have a video, a shirt video. All right, this is a shirt dress, so I have a shirt video on my channel. I'll leave the link down the description box. There you can see how to attach your collar and all that. So I'm going to add my sleeve now and attach my sleeve and my collar, and that is it for this tutorial. Okay, all right guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial, and if you find this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share my video, and leave a nice comment. If you have a question, also leave that down the comment section. Okay, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, I beg you in the name of God, hit on the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you could be notified whenever I post beautiful tutorial, because this year I am bringing beautiful designs to your screen. All right guys, bye.